Good morning, everyone. Your current temperature now on the valley floor in the Reno Sparks area reads 61 degrees on up to the mid 90s for this afternoon, and we still have 90s in our forecast all the way through early next week. Your current temperature now in Fallon at 66 degrees into the upper 50s in Sacramento, mid 70s in Redding, and 83 degrees at this hour, the 7 o'clock hour in Las Vegas. You can see on the latest series of satellite pictures with the radar, this is the remnant moisture of Tropical Storm Bill plaguing eastern Texas today. Lots of rain as it continues to push on up towards the north, and it will curl on off towards the east. So going into Oklahoma next, bringing several inches of rain because of the tropical nature of that system. On the satellite and radar across the west, we do have some higher clouds coming in today. You can see those thin cirrus clouds in from the west right over the Sierra and throughout western Nevada on the other side of the state for this afternoon. On Futurecast clouds and precipitation, those cirrus clouds working in across the Truckee Meadows for today and then spreading across central and eastern Nevada for later this afternoon. So an excellent looking sunset probably across eastern Nevada. Your forecast today for Lake Tahoe into the upper 70s for Incline Village along the west shore as well. 82 degrees for the south shore and a southwesterly wind between about 10 and 15. In terms of far western Nevada, for the most part, those high temperatures into the 90s. We do expect some gusts later today up to around 25 or 30 miles per hour. Stronger wind gusts in the forecast for later tomorrow up to about 35 on the valley floor, reaching the mid 90s this afternoon in Silver Springs. Here's a look at your extended forecast right here on Fox 11 for tomorrow on your Thursday. Mostly sunny skies and 93. Still into the lower 90s on Friday with bright sunshine, and we have 90s in the forecast all the way through next Tuesday, and overnight lows from the 50s to right around 60 degrees. And your extended forecast for Carson City for tomorrow on your Thursday, mostly sunny skies, 91, and then slipping down into the upper 80s on Tuesday and 80s in the forecast for Lake Tahoe all the way through early next week. Have an excellent morning.
I can't hear anything. Must be on a commercial break.
Welcome back. I'm Melissa Carlson. Your time now is 7:28. We're joining you live from mornings on Fox 11 with your News 4 update. Well, the first Reno Rendezvous is happening in our area, and it's starting up tomorrow and going all the way through Saturday. The Rendezvous is going to feature motorcycle events in Reno, Carson City, and Virginia City as well. Grand Sierra Resort is playing host to the 4-day fest, and unlike Straight Vibrations, event officials say that the Rendezvous is really focusing more on riding in our area. Because of that, you can expect an unusually high number of motorcycles on the road over the next several days. The event is open to all riders, so be careful out there. Chief Meteorologist Brandon Woolley joins us now with a look at our forecast. Hi, Brandon.
Good morning, Melissa, and good morning, everyone. For today, mostly sunny skies and high temperatures for the most part into the 90s, including 92 degrees in Elko. Southwesterly wind between about 5 and 15, a mixture of higher clouds and sunshine, and the continuation of those 90s, including 96 degrees in Lovelock, almost 100 to the south in Bishop, with that very mild overnight low at 60. Here's a look at your extended forecast right here. And for tomorrow on your Thursday, mostly sunny skies, 93 into the 90s all the way in throughout early next week, and overnight lows from the 50s to right around 60 degrees. And again, later today, we could see gusts on the valley floors up to around 25 or 30 up to 35 miles per hour tomorrow.
That glass of iced tea looks awful good.
Police say a woman's death revealed a long scheme of financial fraud, and her daughter now faces murder charges. We're going to have the latest on this really bizarre investigation.
And former NFL cheerleader is accepting a plea deal after admitting to having sex with her son's 15-year-old friend. Find out how much time she could get behind bars.
And a Berkeley balcony sends people crashing 4 stories down to the sidewalk below. We're going to have more on the collapse.
You're watching Mornings on Fox 11, connecting Northern Nevada.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us here on Mornings on Fox 11 right now, 7:32. Going to be a hot one.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot one. Of course, makes sense. Reno Rodeo's rolling into town, always one of our favorite times of the year. They are currently on the Cattle Drive right now. They'll be rolling into Reno tomorrow, and then all the fun gets underway. Of course, they had a concert last night, too. That's pretty fun.
That's right, and of course, it's going to be warm. This is an interesting article. If you get a second while you're at work, you need a little break, take a look on Yahoo News. A great story about something called cryotherapy. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I cry a lot.
No, it's not that. It's basically where, we're dealing with this heat. People are going into temperatures.
Oh, they're freezing themselves.
Yes.
Like Lindsay Lohan did something.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they go into this room that's first 76 degrees below zero, and then the second room, which is 100.
How do you not die?
And 66. They only go in for a couple minutes, but they say the effects are amazing. Apparently, LeBron James does it after a game to help out with his muscles, but it's anti-aging and the whole 9 yards. Apparently, it's the big next thing to do.
Freeze yourself, literally.
I say go jump into Lake Tahoe. That'll pretty much be the same. same thing.
That works. Well, we've known for years that it's better, they say, to sleep at a cooler temperature. You know what I mean?
That's
When
right.
you go to sleep, put your temperatures down to like 58 degrees inside the house.
Yeah, and there's some who say that cold water, icy cold water in the morning helps your metabolism to lose weight as well. So I don't know.
Jeez, all righty. Cold is in. Cold is hot.
That's absolutely.
Cold is the new hot. All righty. Well, it's going to be hot around here. We've got Brandon coming in just a couple minutes. But we are learning new details this morning about the New York prison worker accused of helping 2 convicted killers escape. A source with direct knowledge of the investigation tells CNN Joyce Mitchell they talked to her husband about the inmate's plan to break out. That she did talk to her husband. Now that's what they're saying. She also reportedly warned him that his life could be in danger. Authorities believe convicted murderers Richard Matt and David Sweat had actually intended to kill Lyle Mitchell upon their escape. The 2 men have been on the run since they were discovered missing from the Clinton Correctional Facility back on June 6th. Authorities have said Joyce Mitchell had relationships with both men and sexual relations with at least one of them. A lawyer for Lyle Mitchell has denied he knew anything about the escape plan.
Well, a Missouri sheriff calls it a tragic case surrounded by mystery and public deception. A woman who received donations for years to help with her daughter's medical expenses was found dead, and her daughter is one of the people accused of murdering her. Andrew Spencer explains.
This is how most people knew Gypsy Blanchard, a young disabled woman, wheelchair-bound, suffering from muscular dystrophy and leukemia. She and her mother, apparent survivors of Hurricane Katrina.
She blindfolded me, but I looked and I still have nightmares of what I saw.
Gypsy and her mother talked to reporters after receiving a home from Habitat for Humanity in 2008. They've spoken to reporters a lot over the years, but it now seems nobody really knows the truth.
We really don't know the true background of this family. We've received information that they are Hurricane Katrina victims, as you all have, but we have not confirmed that.
This is what Gypsy Blanchard looks like now, charged with first-degree murder in her mother's death. In court without her wheelchair, she seemed to be walking just fine on her own, but she spoke in the same timid voice.
2103 West Volunteer Wing, Springfield, Missouri.
I want to make a statement to use caution in donating money to this family at this time, as we have unearthed the appearance of a long financial fraud scheme along with this tragic event.
A violent post on the Facebook page shared by Gypsy and her mother alerted police to Dee Dee's death. Investigators say Gypsy's boyfriend, Nicholas Godejohn, would later admit he stabbed her mother to death while she slept because his girlfriend asked him to. Investigators also say Gypsy admitted she was there when it happened, that she knew what her boyfriend was about to do, and that she did nothing to stop it. I'm Andrew Spencer, reporting.
Well, a former Baltimore Ravens cheerleader has reached a plea deal in her child sex case. Under the deal, Molly Shattuck admitted to having sex with her son's 15-year-old friend, pleading guilty to a 4th-degree felony rape charge. Now, she could get up to 15 years in prison when she's sentenced in August. Shattuck will now have to register as a sex offender. She remains free on $84,000 bail and has been ordered to have no contact with any minors except her own children. Shattuck is the ex-wife of prominent Baltimore Energy executive Mayo Shattuck, and she gained fame as NFL's oldest cheerleader.
6 people are now confirmed dead after a balcony crashed to the ground in Berkeley, California early yesterday. Just a terrifying ordeal. Police say it happened during a birthday party. The crowded balcony collapsed underneath the victim's feet, sending 13 people crashing 4 stories down to the sidewalk below. Berkeley's mayor, Tom Bates, says officials are still investigating, and the city is still recovering from the tragedy.
It was really a shocking set of events, and we're now trying to recover from those and understand what we can do to ensure that things like this don't happen again in the future.
7 other people were hospitalized with serious injuries.
Well, a 16-year-old boy from Colorado bitten by a shark off the North Carolina coast Sunday is speaking out from his hospital bed. The incident happened at high tide near the Ocean Crest Pier, popular destination for a lot of beachgoers to that area. Now, following the attack, Hunter Treschel's arm was amputated below the shoulder. He described the attack in an interview released by the hospital in Wilmington, where he's being treated.
That was the first I saw it, was when it was biting up my left arm, kind of. Then it got that off eventually, and it swam. Well, I don't know if it swam away, but I was able to move, and I got out of the water with the help of my cousin and onto the beach.
Incredible. About 90 minutes earlier, a separate shark attack occurred in the same area. The victim, a 13-year-old girl, also had to have her arm amputated, hers at the elbow. She also suffered serious tissue damage to her leg. Well, the National Hurricane Center has downgraded Bill from a tropical storm to a tropical depression.
I'm a hurricane, baby.
But that doesn't mean Texas is going through all the rain by itself, and it's not done yet. An additional 6 to 8 inches of rain is still expected in the region today and tomorrow, bringing with it the threat of flash floods. The National Weather Service said that some areas near Houston got nearly 2.5 inches of rain on Tuesday. Bill made landfall as a tropical storm at 12:45 p.m. Tuesday, just southwest of Port O'Connor at Matagorda Island. Now, the rain is bad news for a state recovering from last month's record-setting rainfall and deadly flooding.
And topping your world headlines this morning, in a State Department briefing yesterday, Secretary of State John Kerry said he was absolutely certain the Syrian government attacked its own people with chlorine. It's an acknowledgement the Obama administration has at times been reluctant to make. Kerry spoke to reporters remotely from Boston. He was asked about his confidence that Syrian President Bashar al-Assad had used chlorine gas to orchestrate a chemical attack. Kerry didn't tiptoe around the issue in his response.
I am absolutely certain, we are certain, that the preponderance of those attacks have been carried out by the regime.
Mr. Obama himself has been cautious to accuse Assad outright of a chemical attack. He said at a news conference last month that while chlorine has historically not been considered a chemical weapon, investigators are still working to learn how it has been used in the past in Syria.
Changes are coming to one school, at least when it comes to Shakespeare and what they teach. Why one teacher says she is not going to bring Shakespeare back into the classroom. Plus, forget running with the bulls. How about running with the goats? Find out why a herd swarmed an area of Berkeley, California. Stay with us. Listen, that right there that I just stuffed down my gullet was a chocolate brownie with a coffee topping.
Okay, you're bragging. You to make a run on the station and mail that to us.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it was so, I literally feel like I'm going to start to do the caffeine buzz because it was so delicious, but potent.
The sugar high is going to hit you when you're doing this segment live.
Sugar high, chocolate high, caffeine high, all of that.
I want to be there around for the crash afterwards when she falls asleep on the sofa.
That I know.
Actually, I would buy the station probably in about an hour.
An hour drive away?
Huh?
Now, did you say you're an hour drive away?
No. I said I'd be there in about an hour.
Turning now to what is trending over on our
We
Facebook
have
page.
the other segment.
A California high school English teacher is getting some heat after she said that she does not want to teach the works of Shakespeare to her students because he's a dead white man. According to FoxInsider.com, a Washington Post op-ed, Dana Dustbiter wrote, quote, "I do not believe that a long-dead British guy is the only writer who can teach my students about the human condition." She went on to say that she worries people are clinging to one man's view of life and therefore promoting the notion that other cultural perspectives are less important. Well, Matthew Truesdale, another English teacher, disagrees with her and saying that the tradition of teaching Shakespeare has served him well in his classroom. Asking our Google Plushers, what do you think about it? Listen, we've been teaching Shakespeare for years. Is it time to find a new norm, if you will, when it comes to literature? Or no, it's part of our history. It's part of so many countries' history to teach Shakespeare, and we should continue to do exactly that. It's that art form, right? You wouldn't get rid of Da Vinci or others. Starting off first with Steve out of Sparks. Steve, what do you think?
I don't know. Shakespeare was an artist, just like Mozart, Bach, all the rest of them. They could use words or music to, change your emotions and take control of it. That's fantastic. They could do that. I think that it should be taught, and it doesn't make any difference what color he was or where he was from. The guy was good at what he did. Yeah, that's kind of the way I look at it. I think the teacher, ought to be replaced.
Kempton, what do you think? I mean, we are a very different time, place, everything really when it comes to Shakespeare's time. Is it time to find a new norm for us when it comes to literature? What do you think?
Yeah, I read an op-ed piece in full. The teacher has some argument, like he's teaching to a group of mostly inner city kids, and the language, the very old language of Shakespeare, don't really show relevance. Put it this way, if it's a tool that we use to in the kitchen or somewhere, won't you find a tool that can access the ingredient, the people, the kids that you want to access a lot easier? And another point that was pointed out is Shakespeare is not being taught in university, like it's not required in university English anymore. So why not update the curriculum in high school level?
Glenn, do you agree? Do you think, why not update it? If it's not serving or it doesn't represent the community in which it's teaching, don't you think it's time to maybe change?
Well, on the one hand, I agree with Kempton, and we do agree now and then, which is update, absolutely. I wouldn't delete writers. I would add writers to it. The problem that I have with this teacher is the way she said it. She doesn't want to teach this old white guy because he's outdated. Okay, what if she had said she doesn't want to teach the writings and speeches of Martin Luther King Jr. because he's an old dead black guy and outdated? Now she would have been in a lot of trouble for something like that. So it's the language she used to make her point that I have a problem with.
We'd love to hear what you have to say. You can go ahead and post your comments on our Facebook page. Speaking of which, and Tony, what do we have on Facebook?
Cliff writes in, he says, this is just one more piece of evidence that our education system is teaching students to hate whites.
We'd love to hear. So go ahead and post your comments on our Facebook page. Good chances if you post it now, Tony will read it in the next hour. All right, that's a look at what's trending. Bill, over to you.
Alrighty, thank you, Melissa. Well, still ahead, what started off as a fun photo shoot quickly turned into a virtual controversy online. Find out why the rave review took a nasty turn. We'll talk about that. And coming up next, Miss Universe, Sabrina Pinion, and Miss USA Universal 2014, Misty Jeter, join us in studio. Find out what these beautiful ladies are doing in the biggest little city.
So, Kempton, you'll get a kick out of this, doing documentaries as you do and so on. Here I am. I finished the video for the Indiegogo campaign. Everything's ready to go. It took me all weekend to do it. And then at the last possible minute, everybody started suggesting all sorts of changes.
Oh, right. Where are those suggestions before you finish?
Now, the nice part is I have all of the elements in the video editor. So all I have to do is re-record me and then reposition the elements.
Oh, okay. The voiceover and
But still, it took me all weekend. Guys, we're this thing off tomorrow. Now you do this?
Yeah. Have they been informed all along what's going?
Yes.
They sort of seen that.
What I think is important to do, we have some very creative people here, is after I get done with a project, we hand it around the room and listen to what everybody has to say, and all sorts of great ideas come out. So I'm listening to them. They have some important suggestions. I just hate that it came at the last minute.
Yeah, here's the thing. I mean, at least you get the feedback on it before it went live, right? Yeah. So, and they check it before you launch it. It's like that would be it would be worse if they forgot to do it or didn't have time this past few days, and then you launch it, and then all of a sudden they come out of the woodworks and say, "This, like, did you catch this?
Yeah.
Like, did you catch that?" Like,
The one thing I never want to hear is, you know what we should have done? I never want to hear that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, hey, it's more work, but
In the end, it'll be better. Yeah.
that's better.
All right, guys. See you in an hour.
See you. Oh, the pretty ladies in the studio. Miss USA Universe. What? Miss what?
Welcome back, everybody. As the leading pageant system for married women, the prestigious title of Mrs. Universal is going to be awarded to one lucky woman tomorrow night, right here in the biggest little city. Joining me now is the reigning Mrs. Universe, Sabrina Pinion, and Mrs. USA Universal 2014, Misty Jeter. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
I was saying this morning, shouldn't we have Bill do this? Because this is way making me feel insecure. I'm like, I don't have. So we're just gonna pretend that I have a crown on. And
well, you can. We can arrange that. We have two.
Just fix it. Ladies, tell me a little bit about the competition.
Well, the Mrs. USA competition, USA Universal, is here in Reno, and it is a married pageant. So a lot of people get confused, and they will ask us, or they'll say, "Oh, you're Miss USA or Miss Universe," and it's for married women ages 25 to 45 on the international level, and it's open to even more ages here in the U.S. So it's a pageant for married women, and each woman has their own platform issue. We use the crown as a catalyst to a cause, and so in the USA, you have your own choice as to what platform. Our international platform, of course, is domestic violence and human rights for women and children.
Wow, I love this. This is like one of those, yes, you're young, you're beautiful, great, but also you're beautiful and vibrant when you get married as well, and you can continue to take part in pageants, and you all are doing that. Is this your first time to Reno, either of you?
No, actually, I've been here before. We vacationed here and went out to Tahoe, so we've been here before and absolutely loved it. The city is fabulous.
It is awesome, right? All right, so once you win, what happens next? What do you do with the crown then?
You actually get to choose your platform and advocate for things that are special and close to your heart. The reigning queens that we have for all the states, they are truly amazing. We had a forum yesterday to simulate our international platform forum, and just listening to their stories, Sabrina can attest how wonderful they are and how much work and effort that they have put into giving back to their community.
What about the naysayers? They're out there about, oh, pageants, this and that. What do you say to them?
Absolutely. I want to address that briefly because I started in pageants when I was 13 years old. They were an opportunity for me to have a future. I grew up in government housing. We did not have a lot of money. I gained sponsors to compete in pageants. It opened doors for me that otherwise would not have been opened. I got to travel the world. I had mentors that poured into me and met so many of those through pageantry. So there are going to be naysayers about everything. There are naysayers about politicians if that's your platform you choose. This is a platform we choose, an opportunity, again, to use the crown. Not everyone does that. But to the naysayers, I don't really try to defend it as much as just share with them, this is what it's been in my life and this is what it's given me and the opportunities that it's given me.
Making a difference in your life and in others as well. If you'd like to check it out, all the information is going to be on our website as well. You can do that. Thursday again, June 18th, 7 p.m., Pepper Mill Resort. Ladies, thank you so much and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be
A mixture of clouds and sunshine across far western Nevada. 61 degrees is your current temperature. The wind only up to 5, but stronger gusts on the way for later this afternoon. 57 now in Carson City, 37 still in Truckee at this hour. On Futurecast, cloud cover, so increasing those higher clouds in from the west right over Tahoe and far western Nevada, central and eastern Nevada. Seeing that mixture of clouds and sunshine for this afternoon and in throughout the early evening. Here's your forecast today. Up around Susanville, reaching 90, some gusts later today, up to about 30 miles per hour. Upper 80s to the lower 90s around Sutcliffe and Nixon for Pyramid Lake. Overnight lows from the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees. Into the upper 80s we go for Cold Springs, 90, and throughout Washoe Valley, mid 80s up at Virginia City, and those mild overnight lows once again. Turning on the wind for this afternoon and in throughout the early evening. Stronger gusts on the way for tomorrow on your Thursday, up to about 35 on the valley floor. Mostly sunny skies and 93 still into the 90s all the way in throughout early next week. Overnight lows from the 50s to right around 60 degrees. And your extended forecast for Carson City, lots of sunshine over the next couple of days, cooling things down by a few degrees for early next week on Tuesday, down into the upper 80s and 80s for South Lake Tahoe through early next week. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. I'm Melissa Carlson. Your time now is 7:58. We're joining you live from Mornings on Fox 11 with your News 4 update. We have new details this morning on Hillary Clinton's trip to northern Nevada. According to campaign aides, she's going to be in Reno tomorrow, where she's going to be holding a roundtable discussion with veterans. Clinton plans to talk to them about how the nation can better serve those who have served our country. It's all happening at the VFW Historic Post 9211 at 3:15 in the afternoon, and that's located at 255 VFW Historic Lane in Reno. Chief Meteorologist Brandon Woolley joins us now with a look at our forecast. Hi, Brandon.
Good morning, Melissa, and good morning, everyone. Temperatures today for the most part into the 90s, though we have mid-80s around Austin. Overnight lows for the most part into the 50s, including 50 in Eureka and 51 for our viewers up to the north around McDermott, and a southwesterly wind between about 5 and 15. A mixture of some clouds and sunshine, those high thin cirrus clouds coming in from the west today, reaching 93 degrees in Tonopah, 97 in Hawthorne, and some gusts, especially in throughout western Nevada later today, up to around 30 miles per hour, and stronger gusts tomorrow on your Thursday, up to 35 on the valley floor, reaching 93. Still into the 90s all the way in throughout early next week, and overnight lows from the 50s to right around 60 degrees. That's your latest forecast. Have a great day. Time now is 8 o'clock.
Is it Glenn?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes. Well, hey, I didn't know if Nick was around.
Not yet.
But, John's going to tour Charlie Katabi at the hospital, like 4:30 to 5:30,
Right.
and then wanted to know if American Standard Media wanted to take him out because John's got another engagement he's got to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm
like-
all for that. Well, you're going to take him out to dinner or something like that? Or?
Yeah, take him out somewhere. We'll pick a place, Jordan's or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if Nick was available. I know he's got so much time.
I'll ask him when he comes in. He's got some sales meetings and so on this morning, but when he comes in, I'll ask him about that.
Yeah, and see if Dan wants to come so that we can, be like,
Yeah.
Boulder Public can take him to dinner.
That's a cool idea. I'll spread the word around. Let them see what they think. Are you going to be able to come in today, or are you busy with other stuff?
Oh yeah, no, I'm coming in.
Okay.
I'm out of the shower and getting cleaned up. I think the barn to wash me.
I'm sort of going through the Indiegogo thing that you did yesterday, and my only really edit, because I always take out words, extra words, but also I'm making sure to say instead of radio/internet, there are so many shows out there that call themselves internet radio shows, and it makes it sound like we're just a podcast. So what I changed it to, see what you think of this, is I said that, radio show, like one of the ones here, I actually like this a lot, help us fund a year's worth of satellite, and in return you'll hear your commercials on the Boulder Public Radio Show, as well as our internet and audio and video feeds.
Okay.
It's extra words, which I don't like, but it separates it out so they can see that there's this and then there's that.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. The one thing I didn't do was pull up your. We had been working on the script.
Yeah.
Then John had sent it to me, and then I worked it, and Nick worked it. I didn't pull that up. This morning I was looking through my mail and going, what did I forget? And that's what I forgot. So there were a few good things in there I thought that we could repeat, and I didn't really repeat. I understood
Before you
original.
send your high school grad to
thought
college,
on the
important things,
but it would be nice to
including these stunning
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at that myself and trying to figure out how can I say the same thing here but bullet pointed. Especially you saw the section, the impact, and then there's bullet points. Risk and challenges, bullet points. So rather than giving them something long to read, which I don't think.
Thank you for joining us here on Morning.
How can I condense it so they can just glance and see what
hour
it
of the show.
And then
I think hot one in front of us.
what matters.
Yeah. Yes.
The perks.
Yes.
The perks pop. Have you looked at it the way that it presents? Perks all pop on the side.
Cold Brew Java.
No, I haven't.
Of
This is View Campaign. Yeah, is that where you just?
Which is 556.
That's like a
Came in, talk about
just
the things that are
a
happening
preview.
this weekend, and cannot.
Okay.
It's not posted
stinking
yet.
Right.
You
I'll
can
check
kind
it
of
You know what? In the
how it
summertime,
looks before you
not a
launch
big
it.
iced coffee
And
fan,
I
it
like.
sounds weird to you. Get a bottle of it.
I
Throw
had
it
to
over
think
some
about
ice, some crushed ice,
what
throw a little
came to me. Wow, we could just do sponsor an hour, sponsor 3 hours.
Yeah,
sponsor
I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I have the
Yeah,
IBC
I'm
over
liking
there,
it
but
too.
when I'm not
And
doing
if
that,
you
I'm
tie
going
the
to
swag to that, and then as always, if they don't want the swag, they
Yeah.
can
local as well.
Yeah, and I see you sort of wrote an outline here. So what I was going to do is that's
All right,
something
we're gonna
that
get
really
full
needs
Brandon
to
up,
concentrate on.
Brandon
I've been thinking of that as more as Nick's department.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Brandon.
What I do
I'm
is
like,
I just kept that outline there.
Brandon is a
Brandon
treasure.
is a
Because I've been saying to him all
Absolutely, I
along,
am.
that's the
First
part
off,
of this
check this out.
little web page that he really
Let
needs
the
to
goats out.
lay it out the way
They're actually.
What do you think?
Well, we need to pull out the contract
everywhere because we just
that we would have to sign. Because if it says 3 months, you have to
Here,
go
the
through
lab
3
brings
months.
in the gaggle of goats.
And, you know, that's our initial goal.
Brush
And
around
then
the lab in
whatever
California.
the
It not only makes the
cost of
area look better,
equipment,
it reduces
then,
a fire hazard.
you know, we have to put in 5% for
I'd be
do it
freaking
every
out
morning
if I was
or
walking
whatever it is for them, and then the flag, so another 10% on top of anything that's a hard price. We have to
Right,
remember
right.
that.
Yeah, and there's also PayPal has a little fee too. So
what's trending this morning.
Yeah,
Trending
we
over on Yahoo. Donald Trump
we set up a
made his
PayPal
entrance to the
account
2016 presidential stage Tuesday. And he did it to Neil Young's song, Keep on Rocking in the Free World. Here's the problem. Young says to the Donald, hey, you cannot keep on rocking to Young's song. Turns out the singer is supporting another candidate for the 2016 race, Democratic Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Young's manager says he's reached out to the Trump's camp and requested they stop using the song, please. Trending over on Facebook this morning, the Foo Fighters lead singer had a disappointing announcement Tuesday for the band's fans, I should say. It's hard to say. Listen to this. This is what happened. Frontman Dave Grohl broke his leg falling off of a stage during a festival in Sweden. It happened last week. He continued on with his song after he fell. Anyways, yesterday the singer posted on the Foo Fighters website that the band is forced now to cancel the rest of its tour, including Britain's Glastonbury Festival. Apparently it is one of the largest festivals in the world. Best to him. Trending over on Twitter, hashtag Magic Mountain, the sad story out of California. Officials there say that a roller coaster did not cause the death of a young girl. She was found unconscious at Six Flags. Yesterday, the LA County Coroner's Office ruled that 10-year-old Jasmine Martinez died from natural causes. Jasmine passed out Friday after riding Magic Mountain's Revolution ride. The attraction can get up to 55 miles per hour and rides up to a 113-foot hill on that ride. There it is right there. Turning now to what is trending over on our Facebook page, a Wisconsin wife surprised her husband with a family photo shoot featuring him as a Caped Crusader. Well, they posted the pictures online and were surprised by the responses. As John Coco explains, the rave reviews took a dark turn that they didn't expect.
These pictures were just supposed to be a Father's Day gift.
Yeah, I was really nervous because it was actually a surprise.
Roxanne Daly set up the Caped Crusader photo shoot for her husband Mike, a massive Batman fan, with him dressing as the Dark Knight, his son Finn as the boy wonder Robin, and Roxanne,
You know, them rescuing me as the damsel in distress.
the Hartford couple, posted the pics online. They were an immediate hit with friends and family.
It literally it exploded within like minutes.
Within hours, it went viral.
And they had 200,000 likes when we woke up the next morning.
But with all the attention came criticism, saying the Dalys were putting themselves and their baby in harm's way and promoting illegal activity.
And the people that don't like it are going to be the most vocal.
They say that's when it began to spiral out of control.
Some people posted our address on the internet, make threats, say that they're going to show up to the house in the middle of the night.
I was begging him to go to a hotel for the night because I was terrified.
According to Wisconsin law, only railroad workers or an authorized newspaper reporter can walk along or on train tracks. But the family says they had no idea about that and never thought it would come to this.
These people were doing it in the name of advocating train safety, but putting us out there for people to almost encouraging people to come and harm us.
My main objective was just surprising Mike with a really cool photo shoot and memories that we can keep forever.
That was John Coco reported. The Dailies said that they made police aware of the photos and threats, and authorities have not yet taken action. Asking all of you, what do you think about this issue? Did those people who didn't like the pictures go too far by posting those the couple's address online, or hey, they were trying to do something by telling them, you know, it's not very safe and you're promoting potentially some bad behavior? Well, Audrey writes in and says, I don't see the child in any harm, and I think this is a cute idea for a family photo. I'd love to do this. We'd love to hear what you have to say. You can go ahead and post your comments on our Facebook page. Bill?
What's the matter with some people? All right. Thank you so much for that, Melissa. Well, the summer solstice is this weekend, with summer season officially kicking off on Sunday. Ryan Kern joins us now live from downtown Reno. He is at Yelp's Summer Solstice Sun Celebration Salutation.
Looks like a great time. Thank you, Ryan. Coming up next, we're going to tell you about how you can win our Fox 11 giveaway. Coming up next, have your phones ready. And for just $25, you can give your dad $50 to spend online. We're going to tell you where you can go to get the deal. Coming up next in Boatman's Bargains.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, it is time to do our giveaway here on Mornings on Fox 11. You can win 4 $5 gift cards to Carl's Jr. That's $20 value. All you have to do, be the first caller to win the prize. Number is on your screen, 336-6270. We will bring you the winner at the end of our show. Let's toss it over to Melissa. She has a look at our Boatman's Bargains on the day, filling in for Sam. Hey there, Melissa.
Hello, Bill. Saving some cash here, starting over at Living Social. Today's deal of the day is 2 concert tickets to Sierra Valley Lodge. Whether it's maybe for a date night or just a fun night out, this deal is a great way to save some cash. On a budget, you can get to have a good time as well. For only $8, you're going to get 2 tickets to see Zongo Junction on August 6th. Also on Living Social, pick up Dad and an e-gift card to Sharper Image. How about pick up Dad a gift card? You don't want to pick up your own dad, that'd be creepy. But here it is right there, $25 and you get $50 to spend at Sharper Image. That's a great deal. And here's today's dining deal over at Groupon.com. Enjoy a pizza night at Red Rock Pizza Factory for $10. You're going to get $20 to spend on a pizza for 2. Also on Groupon, take in the sights of Lake Tahoe on a North Shore Brew Tour. For $115, you and a guest are going to be able to visit the best breweries around Lake Tahoe. Those are a look at some of your deals of the day. And if you have a deal that you want to share with us, hey, we would love to hear about it, especially maybe for Father's Day. Post it on our Fox 11 Facebook page. Bill?
Okay, thank you. Still ahead on Mornings on Fox 11. The GM of the Reno Rodeo tells us where Reno ranks on the list of 600 rodeos, and it is a pretty good number. We're proud of that. Also, young women getting out of high school are getting more freedom, but before they head off to college, our Family 411 report explains what they need to know about fighting off sexual violence. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Here is a live look outside to get you started on your Wednesday. Gorgeous shot out there, right there at the Sparks Marina. Traffic not bad. Current temperature right now, a warm 66 degrees at 8:18. Well, later this summer, teenagers all over the U.S. are going to leave home for their first time for college.
Man, it's a pretty exciting time. Young women in particular need to be prepared, though, to protect themselves against sexual violence. An expert in self-defense showed special correspondent Sheila Gray the 3 things every teen should know for this Family 411.
Hands up, block.
This is the final self-defense class in a 10-week program for high school girls.
Pull me down.
Girls who've never had to get physical like this.
I knew that it's skills that I would want to know in the future.
Lauren Pascal knows other young women who've experienced sexual violence. She and her classmates are learning there's more to self-defense than hand-to-hand combat.
We also talk about the things they're going to find out in college.
Lesson number 1, that most sexual attacks are not committed by strangers. 85% of the cases involve someone the victims know. That leads to lesson 2, communicate boundaries.
You need to have boundaries for yourself that you've set, as well as telling them, look, this is what I will or will not do. I'm telling you up front, so we're not even going to go there.
Makes you think about who you get into a relationship with.
These girls have also been taught the skills they're learning here go out the window if they've had too much to drink.
You're on top, and now you have control.
Their self-defense education also includes conversations about college parties, date rape drugs, and safety products. Instructors know college students want to have fun, but they also stress being a good friend.
So they need to stay together as a group and watch out for each other. Their friend, if they see a friend that's intoxicated and that can't take care of themselves, they need to step up and be a good friend and take care of them. Blast her.
Even if they're not experts, Officer Burling says the more these students put their bodies and brains through these moves, the more confident they'll be if something does happen.
It makes you feel more strong, like that you know how to do it. So if something did happen, you'd feel more capable to stop it.
It feels great because knowing that I can protect myself and that I'm in control. Girls often grow up being taught they have to be nice. Here, young women are learning empowerment. Good lessons as they get set to strike out on their own.
Good job.
That was Sheila Gray reporting. We have several links for ways to talk about this with your kids and some ways to prevent sexual violence. They say you can find it on our website, foxreno.com. Love that program.
So good to see young ladies learning that kind of stuff. You're going to have to get your daughter into a little martial arts, huh?
Absolutely. I think it's a great idea.
All right, let's toss it over to Brandon. He's got your rodeo forecast on this Wednesday. Hey, pal.
Hey, Bill and Melissa, it's going to be very hot over the next couple of days. Yesterday on the Valley floor, it was 93 degrees. We'll have a look at your 7-day forecast for Reno Sparks, Carson City, and South Lake Tahoe up next. In the Reno Sparks area now into the mid 60s and just a touch of wind up to about 3 miles per hour, but more wind is in the forecast for later this afternoon with those localized gusts between about 25 and 30 miles per hour. Already into the mid 80s now in Las Vegas here at 8:23, lower 70s in Fallon and into the upper 50s in Sacramento. Tracking the remnants of Tropical Storm Bill now over northeastern Texas at this point on the way in throughout southern Oklahoma. It's going to continue to go on off towards the north and curl on off towards the east over the next several days, bringing several inches of rain. Now on the western satellites and radar, some high thin cirrus clouds coming in from the west today right over California and Nevada, but that's not going to spoil the very hot high temperatures in the forecast for today. On Futurecast cloud cover, you can see those very thin clouds moving over the Sierra and western Nevada, especially thickening things up late this morning and in throughout the afternoon across central and eastern Nevada, especially to the south of Highway 80 and over Interstate 80 and over Highway 50 for later today. Your forecast for around Lake Tahoe into the lower 80s around Truckee. We have lower 80s as well for the South Shore, upper 70s for Incline Village and Tahoe City. Southwesterly wind between about 10 and 15. In terms of far western Nevada, those high temperatures for the most part into the 90s, including the mid 90s in Silver Springs, with that morning low into the upper 50s. Mostly clear to clear skies overnight tonight. Those localized gusts later today upwards of about 30, but stronger gusts in store for later tomorrow afternoon on your Thursday up to around 35 miles per hour. So definitely heightened fire danger out there tomorrow. Here's a look at your extended forecast for the Reno Sparks area. On your Thursday, 93 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Your Friday forecast, sunny and 92. And into the 90s all the way in throughout early next week. Overnight lows from the 50s to right around 60 degrees. And for Carson City, lots of sunshine over the next several days, cooling things down by a little bit into the upper 80s on Tuesday and low to the mid 80s up at South Lake Tahoe and overnight lows into the 40s. Again, kind of breezy at times during the afternoon hours over the next couple of days. That's your latest forecast right here on Fox 11. The time now is 8:26.
If you wanna go and take a ride with me, we dream.
Welcome back. I'm Melissa Carlson. Your time now is 8:28. We're joining you live from Mornings on Fox 11 with your News 4 update. Well, good news for Nevada drivers. By the end of this year, charging stations are going to be installed along US 95, allowing for electric cars to make the drive from Reno to Las Vegas. Officials say that this project is putting Nevada on the map in a lot of different ways. Not only do electric cars help lower vehicle emissions, but they also, of course, benefit the customers by lowering their overall transportation costs. When the project is finished, there's going to be 155 charging stations throughout the state. The governor noted that installation of the charging stations will be covered by NV Energy, so there will be no cost for them as of now. Chief Meteorologist Brandon Woolley joins us now with a look at a warm forecast ahead of us. Hi, Brandon.
Good morning, Melissa, and good morning, everyone. For today, mostly sunny skies. Some higher clouds working in today from an offshore system, so right over California and Nevada. For this afternoon, we're looking at that wind between about 5 and 15 pulling out of the southwest, a mixture of clouds and sunshine. 96 degrees in Fallon, 97 in Hawthorne, with that mild low at 60. Here's a look at your extended forecast for the Truckee Meadows. For tomorrow on your Thursday, mostly sunny skies, some gusts later in the day up to 35 miles per hour, and then 90s all the way through early next week. Overnight lows into the 50s. Time now is 8:30.
The Reno Rodeo officially kicks off tomorrow. We're going to tell you how a lot of people are expected to attend this year, how many, and what they can get at the rodeo.
And the Reno Bike Project has a fun event coming up for kids on summer break. How to get your child involved.
Plus, if your kid has a wicked backswing, we have the perfect summer program to tell you about. Guess what? It is for free.
You're watching Mornings on Fox 11, connecting Northern Nevada.
Well, good Wednesday morning. Thank you for joining us here on Mornings on Fox 11. Right now, 8:32, and we are taking a look at a hot topic in sports right now. It has nothing to do with the big win in California for the Warriors. This is something else.
You think of cheating in baseball, you think of things like stealing signs, using too much pine tar, corking your bats perhaps, filing the ball. We all remember that crazy scene with one of the Negro brothers where the umpire thought he was doctoring the balls up on the mound, so they run up to him and he has a fingernail file in his pocket. I wasn't doing anything. No, this is, I guess, baseball cheating for the 21st century.
Absolutely.
We're talking about allegations that the St. Louis Cardinals hacked the computers of the Houston Astros to get very important high secret baseball information. So
yeah, there's some talk that maybe one of the people on the Astros, which
used to be with the Cardinals.
Used to be with the Cardinals. So if he had the password per se, is it hacking? Is my question. I mean, technically it's not his anymore. He shouldn't be in there. It's not his team. But if he has the information, which there are some allegations that he might, everything's not clear at this point. They're still investigating it. But I bet you that's a big gray area right there.
Yeah, and if you think this is just a Major League Baseball investigation, think again. The FBI, the Houston Home Office of the FBI. So
do you think it's because
they're in on this?
Probably
They're
because
investigating
the millions of dollars that go into the team. I mean, why else would the FBI be investigating
I don't
anything?
know. I don't know. You asked me a question, I have no idea how to answer.
You're usually
But when the
more
FBI
athletic
is
than that.
investigating you and you're a sports team, yikes, not good. So we're going to be.
There's Glenn.
What
are you doing? Oh, I'm just sitting here writing it.
Our headlines this morning.
Please roll. Thank you.
There you go. The Reno Rodeo is set to begin at the Reno Livestock Event Center, and the center is getting ready for the estimated 250,000 guests that are going to be in attendance for the rodeo, which runs from tomorrow through June 27th. It is 10 days of excitement with the wildest, richest rodeo in the West, and it's fun for the entire family.
Because there's over 600 professional rodeos in the United States and Canada, and Reno is ranked number 4 committee-run rodeo amongst those 600 rodeos. So it's a very special treat to be able to put this on for the kids, for the Northern Nevada Western Way of Life, and just the passion that this committee has for the rodeo is just amazing.
And again, the Reno Rodeo runs for 10 days. It all starts up tomorrow and runs through June 27th.
Well, you might see more planes buzzing around the skies in North Reno today. The 18th Annual National Championship Air Races Pylon Racing Seminar is taking place today through Saturday. This is the qualifying round for the air races in September, as well as a safety seminar for new pilots. It's not open to the public, but you might see them over your head. Nearly 60 airplanes flying in the racing seminar. And the first Reno Rendezvous is happening in our area starting tomorrow, going through Saturday. The Rendezvous will feature motorcycle events in Reno, Carson City, and Virginia City. The Grand Sierra Resort is playing host to the 4-hour fest, four-day fest, I should say.
Only 4 hours?
I drove all the way out here for a 4-hour party. Unlike Street Vibrations, event officials say the Rendezvous will focus more on riding in the Sierra and surrounding areas. Because of that, you can expect an unusually high number of motorcycles on the road over the next several days. The event is open to all riders. If you'd like more information, head to that website on your screen.
Kids on summer vacation have the chance to take part in 2 biking camps hosted by the Reno Bike Project. There's going to be 2 week-long sessions, and the first is from June 22nd to the 26th. Second is July 20th to the 24th. Each camp session is going to meet at Rancho San Rafael Park Monday through Friday. That's from 8:30 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. Sign-ups are on a first-come, first-served basis, and participants may bring their own bike, or hey, if you'd like to, you can borrow a mountain bike from RBP, that's the Reno Bike Project. Camp is free to all participants, even if they borrow a bike. Well, students can also start their summer off right by visiting the Discovery Museum this week to learn about recycling and water preservation, waste management, and Keep Truckee Meadows Beautiful are bringing the Waste Warriors Week to the community through a $10,000 grant, and kids can participate in a recycling right race and Methane Mamba demonstrations and a craft project to turn old t-shirts into reusable shopping bags. You can also take part in that. And the festivities end Sunday with a Touch a Truck event this weekend at the museum. To learn more about the events, go on to our website, foxreno.com.
How about another great event? Kids of all ages took to the tennis courts yesterday for day 1 of the Northern Nevada Opportunistic Tennis Program. This is the 19th year. Coach Ed Finehandler has been teaching tennis lessons at the camp. And he says more than 1,000 kids have received lessons since the program began. Kids began by learning the fundamentals of the sport and also how to hit, of course. And while the camp is for local kids, it's just as rewarding for the coach as it is the participants.
Mine was to practice so I could be a pro one day. We're glad that we could be at tennis right now. so we can learn how to play.
If you'd like to participate, the camp is offered every Tuesday and Thursday through the first week of August. Program is free for all participants, so pretty cool stuff.
Still to come, something is hogging all of the sand space in Southern California. I'm going to tell you what's washing up on shore, but first, a Batman-obsessed family is taking heat from public safety officials for their superhero photo shoot. We'll talk about that coming up with the Google Plusers.
Okay, can everybody hear me okay, or is it just quiet out there?
I can hear you okay. It's
good.
just quiet.
It was just so quiet, I worried that there was a problem.
Very quiet, yeah. When everyone mutes it, it's extremely quiet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, you hear something and then at least you know the session is up, right?
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, that's right. There you go, Melissa. Turn those down. That's the way. Good girl.
What'd she do?
There was a big box of donuts that was put right in front of her face, and she said no.
Hold on.
Donuts.
I had to go make a thing of sun tea is out there brewing right now. After that iced tea.
Welcome back. Here's a live look outside to get you started on your Wednesday. Right now, 68 degrees at 8:41 in the morning here in Reno. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's trending on our Facebook page this morning, everybody. A Wisconsin wife surprised her husband with a family photo shoot. Seems sweet, right? It's going to be featuring him as Batman. Well, they posted the pictures online and were pretty surprised by the responses. According to FoxInsider.com, Roxanne Daly planned a Batman-themed photo shoot as a surprise for her husband Mike, who loves the superhero. And in the picture, Mike is dressed up, as you can see, as Batman. Roxanne is playing the damsel in distress tied to the train tracks, and their son is dressed up as Robin. Well, after the shoot, the family posted the picture online, expecting to get positive feedback, but that's not what happened. Mike says that people started to make threats towards the family, even telling them that posing on the tracks is dangerous and irresponsible. They also went as far as to posting this family's address online, asking your Google Plusers what you think about it. Do you have an issue with the pictures? Do you understand how some people are upset, or not so much this went way too far? Other people say it goes way too far what some people are doing for family photos as well. I don't know. Kempton, what do you think? Do you think it's a bad idea? Do you have an issue at all with the pictures?
I love the cute photo, but I think it's a bad idea to do post for anything fun on a train track because, hey, there could be a train coming. So the family should have known, or should have known better. The law is the law. But it's just too much. People are being judges all over the internet. And then the one that is posting the address of the family, is he or she nuts? It's a baby, man. It's a family. Like, don't be that kind of crazy people.
Social media vigilante and what's the word, Brandon?
Vigilante.
I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Just totally. So what happens when you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning? You no longer can think of words or speak English. Glenn, help me out here, please. You're in the radio business. You can take over. It's yours. What do you think?
Back in the old days, medieval times, there used to be trolls that lived under bridges, and they sucked off of the emotions, negative emotions that they caused people. Well, now they don't live under bridges anymore. Now trolls live under the internet. And they get online and look for people that they can attack and get negative emotions from. Fear, anger, they use all of that, and they suck the soul out of the people that they're attacking. But there's a way to fight trolls. Ignore them. When you ignore them, they either wither up and die, or they go looking for somebody else to troll.
Or also, set your privacy settings so that the only people who get to see your pictures are your family members and friends. Maybe that's another option as well. Steve, what do you think out of Sparks? Do you have an issue with these pictures?
I think it's a good picture. You know, I mean, if you're into Batman and that kind of stuff, and the rescue and the damsel in distress on the railroad tracks, you know, I mean, that's fine. However, it could be dangerous, but back there, I mean, you got to make sure that there's no train coming. You know, so and back there, I could understand the people's thinking, because the trains back there are nuts.
Yeah, so be careful is the key here. Tony, what do we have on Facebook? A lot of comments on this one.
Tons of comments. Kelsey writes in and says, it is illegal to take pictures on a train track. Why? That is so hard to understand is beyond me. But Gil writes in, he says, looking at the other pics that show the length of the track better, they would only have about 20 to 25 minutes to get their child off the tracks.
We'd love to hear what you have to say. You can go ahead and post your comments on our Facebook page. That's where the conversation continues. Bill?
Alrighty, thank you so much, Melissa. Well, coming up next, our good friend Oliver X is here. Find out what's going on in and around town this week. And a quick reminder, the news doesn't stop when you leave the house. Fox 11 got you covered. Download the new and improved free Fox 11 AM app for your smartphone or tablet. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back.
It's a fun one.
That was good.
Yeah, I can die happy. I got that story out of me now. I'm good.
Yeah.
All right.